Alright, hello everyone, and it appears you guys actually really liked my fun Naruto Online teams video, and I've really been meaning to do more of them, but finding fun teams is kind of like, it's kind of hard and a little discouraging when like everything I try to do kind of just crumbles against the meta. So first of all, I want to talk about the meta, and then I'm going to go into the team. And pretty much your team is 100% worthless unless it can beat these two teams, because these two teams are insanely popular, and at least on any server that has like a mid-tier power level. If you're on, there are some servers that have people who have, or I mean, obviously I'm talking about English servers that have people who have like crazy teams. So I kind of have it categorized. There are your teams that you just can't expect to beat, and then there are your teams that you need to be able to beat, and then there's the teams that you should just like you are expected to beat. So teams you're expected to beat are pretty much all normal teams that aren't one of the two teams that I'm saying you need to beat. I'm sorry if this is a little bit confusing, but we're going to just take a quick look at, I think if I actually go to this, I probably should check this first, but if I, yeah. Because I knew this guy had the team. This is the main team that you need to be able to beat if you want your team to be competitive. Green Angel were 10-10, Mei, Mabui, and then Watermain. Because what this team is going to do to you, turn 1, they're going to infuse Chakra with Mabui, and then they're going to use 10-10's 60 damage, or not 60 damage, 60 Chakra ability, and it'll generally take half your team's life, and the next turn, Mabui will infuse Chakra again, and then they'll use Mei's ability. And Mei has her barrier, auto barrier, that increases water damage by 40%. And then Watermain, because Mabui is laning, buffs all three of these people, and it's on that 40%. So Green Angel where 10-10 is doing 80% bonus damage, so is Mei. And of course 10-10 also has increased critical strike rate to the entire team. And it seems absolutely brutal. It's brutal to anyone who isn't paying a lot of money to get like crazy ninjas. Like this is like the most brutal free to play team there is. But there is another one, and I'm hoping this person has it. This person has been spending a lot of money. This is close. This is really close. Windmane, Sage Naruto, Gaara, and then the fourth person is variable. I think the best person is Killer B, but there have been a lot of people. Some people use Baki, and there's various other people that people use. But that's the other team you have to beat, is this kind of like ninjutsu wind style team. And then the crazy teams I'm talking about are people who are using like ultra rare ninjas. Like this person could build one of these teams. Like you see they have Susanoo, Sasuke, and Hashirama. This is the only person on the server who has people who are crazy like that. If people are using absolutely insane teams, like you can't expect to beat them. If we look at like this team, like this isn't even that absurd, but it's because he's only using the one super rare. But like you can't expect to beat certain teams. The team's actually not that good. Was it Black 4-2? This guy's team is really really good too, but it's not that crazy. There's some really crazy ones, like I saw like Hashirama and Minato and someone else, and I don't know. There's just those crazy teams that you can't really expect to beat them. But I've come up with this team. Now, this team isn't perfect. It's far from perfect, actually, but I didn't want to wait any longer to make a video. And what this team does is it does beat... It's hard, because it does beat those two teams that I mentioned, but only if you have more initiative than them. It literally comes down to initiative battle. If you have more initiative than them, Donzo will cancel out their barrier, and we put Donzo in the front because he needs as much initiative as possible. But I don't know about you, I get out initiative all the time still. My power is very low. I spend like all my money buying ninjas. So, but otherwise, you can if you win the warrior battle, you can definitely win. And this team is far from perfect. Ideally, you replace Danzo with Darui, and if you want to be really ideal, you replace Kimimaru with Susanoo Sasuke, and that's the dream team for me. But right now, this team works pretty well, and actually, I don't want to use Sealing Sword Slash because the problem is if you lose the initiative, if you don't have enough initiative, Sealing Sword Slash is pretty much going to be useless. So it's rough. It'll work against wind teams because wind teams generally don't have healers, but they sometimes run Dance of Impetus, and then you're screwed anyway. So we'll show a couple games with this, and this will be all normal teams pretty much. See what we get. We should be able to win this easily, and this will be a really good demonstration actually. He has no barrier, and Donzo's barrier is pretty powerful. So I'll talk about the talents and stuff after this fight that I'm running. It's pretty straightforward. Level 79, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward. This team does actually take a little bit of skill, I guess, to play. It's not really skill, just you have to pay attention and kind of know what's going on, because you want to use your main and Kimimaru's ability to pinpoint their people who are using ninjutsu so Danzo can immobilize them, and you also have to make sure to use Danzo's ability at the right time, essentially. So I'm actually most worried about her ability, so I'm going to go on to her, and I'm going to get ready for her to use her ninjutsu ability so I can use Kimimaru's. Actually, I'm probably going to use my mains. Yeah. I'm going to use my mains. When I see her cue it up. Boom. There we go. So you kind of be on point with that. And then we'll combo, and then Danzo will immobilize her so that she doesn't do that. And we will also use Chi's ability. Chi's ability is very, very powerful, but again, why Darui would be amazing on this team is Chi increases the defense and resistance of all units in your lineup, all lightning style units of your lineup by 20%. Danzo is fire, so that's rough. But on top of that, he also causes blindness. Is one of these people gonna use an ability? I don't know. He also causes blindness to all non-lightning ninjas. Danzo is not a lightning ninja. But the most important thing about Danzo really is that he has an auto barrier that is lightning style, and he's just good. Like, he is just a good ninja. Like, there's no real arguing about it. Like, he just is good, right? His mystery is really powerful. His basic attack is pretty powerful. He has an immobilize on chase. His barrier actually doesn't just give the 40% bonus, as the added effect of causing chaos to one of your opponent's units. So he's just really, really powerful. Of course, Darui would be a lot better, because then we could activate Root of Warrior on Darui, which would be godlike. Plus we get his auto barrier, lightning style. It's actually a world of difference, but I'm unlucky, so. And of course then Chi gives him the bonus defense, and Chi doesn't make him miss his attacks. But this is what we're working with, and this, like I said, it'll be all normal teams. Right now, if sometimes it can beat Mei, Mabui 10-10, if you have more initiative, it can generally beat them if you have more initiative. But it's it's almost like a 65, like 40 split or 35 split. But it can definitely happen. If, again, like I said, very important. Initiative is literally everything. Like, it's I can't explain how important it is. And I didn't even realize that really until like kind of maybe like a month ago. I was just like, I started getting really frustrated. I'm like, man, all these people have more initiative than me, and it just wrecks me. So just keep that in mind. And obviously here we didn't even need to use Donzo's ability, and we wrecked them. That wasn't a particularly good team, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. That's a team that's like the other, right? You have like the two main teams that are like very, very powerful, and then you have the other. And with this team, you can pretty much always expect to beat the other. I did run into like a reanimated team that seemed pretty coordinated, but it still fell to this team. I think pretty much everything will. That isn't that, or like, again, crazy ninja doing crazy things. Take a look at the talents here. Chidori Blade Shadow, of course, Beam of Light is just, we're not doing an auto attack build with the lightning main, so just doing the most damage with that is recommended. Lightning Sword, and we use this because when we cause knockdown with this or with our auto attack, we combo into the knockdown to low float to high float to repulse, and the combo to the immobilize. On the assault tactics, this actually makes your team deceptively tanky, especially Kimimaru. I'm sure you guys already know about that, like the kind of synergy with that there. But with Chi, him healing plus him giving 20% increased defense and resistance, it's actually kind of amazing. And Chi is just, God, I can't tell you how good Chi is. Causing blindness on his auto attacks. If you don't know what Chi does, actually, I'll go over Chi. I feel like a lot of people don't understand Chi. So he has the lightning style genjutsu, which I've already mentioned, causes blindness to all non-lightning style ninjas. Or I think it's like 9. Yeah, it's 9 non-lightning style ninjas. And then it removes all their buffs. So that's really, really good. Against non-lightning style teams, this will buy you just entire turns. Like any entire turn. Like throughout the entire fight, it'll be entire turns. And his Taijutsu attack has a high chance to cause blindness and knockdown, which is so good. Just turning off one of the characters is amazing. Quick healing, that speaks for itself. Healing. And then he gives you chakra whenever your opponent uses chakra. And this is actually a better version than some people have. There's a few people who have similar abilities, but this one actually gives you 100% instead of 50% of the chakra that they use. Power of lightning, we've talked about this. Increases lightning resistance. Increases 20% defense and resistance for your entire team. That's for all lightning style people on your team, so not Donzo. Very sad. And then of course Root of Warrior, and you can't beat, right, really the only way you're gonna beat Meimabu, Tenten, and Sage Naruto, Gaara, Wind Main is with Root of Warrior, unless you have some very powerful different ninjas. There's a couple of really cool Earth main teams that you can do, but yeah, this is quintessential. It's very important. It's very powerful. 100% increased resistance. That means on turn 1, when they 10-10 you, you're taking 100% less damage. Right? Kind of like that. I mean, obviously 100% less damage would be 0, so I guess it doesn't make sense, but you get my point. You're taking way less damage. I'm not going to do the math on how much percentage it actually is. Okay. And there's really no room to change anything here. I tried lightning ceiling slash, but the problem is if I was going to lose, this didn't make me win, pretty much. Like, if I was going to lose because I didn't have enough initiative, this was never going to help me. So Chidori Blade Shadow is just better against a lot of other teams. And now I guess you go over this team's weakness, which is there's only really one team that'll beat this, like one normal team that'll beat this, and that is a lightning armor, bloodthirsty demon, lightning main team. They will generally shoot through you pretty hard, but actually, before Donzo, I was just using Sasuke, but with the addition of Donzo, your win rate against those teams has actually gone up quite a lot because they generally target one person and then you can just resurrect them. So that was the weakness. Donzo's actually kind of covered for that, but it's still iffy. So yeah, if you have Darui, definitely replace Donzo with Darui and just edit your combos accordingly. And I mean, if you have Susanoo Sasuke, just go all the way and make the full team. I'm really tempted to actually get Susanoo Sasuke, but obviously it's a lot of money. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this team. Hopefully I'll come at you with an Earth main team that I used to get to Elite Anbu. And that team, it's fun. It's really, really fun. But it it'll beat every normal team, but it won't beat Mamo Bui 10-10 or anything like that. So it's kind of sad. I kind of the reason why I really made any videos about the game is because I got really demoralized when I kind of realized that like that was like the team, and that was like the only team, and it's so hard to beat. It's just so oppressive. Like I don't understand why they don't just like nerf it. I mean, it's kind of like that thing of like Hearthstone where they don't want to nerf stuff because like people paid money for that stuff, and then you nerf it, and then they're like, hey, this isn't the same. But I don't know. It's just really busted, and it kind of frustrates me. But at the end of the day, that's the game. That's the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.